people, they spread themselves too thin, and they try to do crap that is not what their thing is. Stick to what you're good at. Stay in your gosh darn lane. For me, for example, I'm a competitive bodybuilder, and I'll post stuff like that on Instagram. And people, they try to they want it to cross over into Code Red. Look, Code Red is very strict. I'm very strict with no shakes, no pills, no diet foods, no exercise. Well, Christy's against exercise? Of course not. I exercise every day. I think it's great for a million reasons. It's not an answer to your weight problem. So I will not cross over. Another thing is we believe in 2 or 3 meals a day with no snacking. And I don't even allow my staff or coaches or mentors to even say the word snack. So I put up really, really, really hard boundaries on exactly what we do. The word fitness is not allowed anywhere in the Code Red community. Exercise is not allowed anywhere in the Code Red community. Fasting is not allowed anywhere in the Code Red community. I mean, people have called me names. I get all kinds of hate all the time about how militant I am, but these are strict boundaries. And I'm even in the coaching manuals, I have a whole staff of coaches. I have a whole staff of assistant coaches that are kind of training to be coaches. They're kind of coaches in waiting. We call them mentors. There is a manual. It's a 3-ring binder. And there's a whole page listed of what I do not want to hear you ever say. And I want you to remove it from the community if you see it posted. We don't even talk about that. We don't deep dive. And I don't cross the line. And I am militant about that. And so people, they dabble. Nah, I know people, and I won't say names because you guys know him too. I know this one guy, and I love him dearly. I love him so much, and he's with one of my best friends. But I still, to this day, all these years, I don't even know what he does. I can't tell you what he does. That's not good. I would rather be known for my one thing, which is like I'm a weight loss coach. Nobody gets weight off people better than Cristy Code Red. That's it. And so I'll always and people say, Cristy the nutritionist. Nope. I'm a weight loss coach. Cristy the fitness, and nope, I'm a weight loss coach. Cristy, can you write a leg program for me? Nope, I'm a weight loss coach. I don't do that. And I say, no, 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 no. Everybody knows exactly what I do. There's no confusion. Can you say this about yourself, guys? Can you say this is exactly what we do? Everything we do is geared towards this. My colors, my logo, my font, my language, the terminology. That's why when I asked you guys before we even started, what's our audience? Because I need to hone my language for the audience. You've got to make sure that you're staying in your lane of exactly what you do and be militant about it. Don't dabble. Don't cross over. Don't do it. Don't do it because you're going to start, then your people aren't going to start trusting you because you're like, you're a wishy-washy. You're a pushover. I know what I do. If anybody comes to me, they come to me for exactly this. And if they don't need exactly this, I send them to somebody else.
I love that. I love everything about that. That is so powerful and so true. You touched on two major things there that I'd love to dive into. One of them I think that you touched on is the power of niching down and having that one thing and sticking to it. That is, I think, one of the through lines that we've seen as a trend for everyone who's seen the level of success about getting like the 2 Comma Club awards and everything else. And the other thing that I'm really interested in, you use the word militant to describe how you hold the line, and it's so important to say no to things that are not for you. And I can't express that enough. And it's something that personally I think I struggle with at times, but I'm working to get better. So um out of curiosity, like what what do you do in those moments that you're well, I guess I'm kind of butchering this question. How did you get that militant type of approach to what you say no to?
Unfortunately, it happened from trial and error, and I'm a very super literal person. To give you an example, when I was a kid, I came home crying when I was in grade school because I didn't have straight A's, and my mom says, "What happened?" And I was saying, "I didn't have straight A's. I don't have straight A's." And my mom opened up the report card; there were all A's, but the way that the teacher wrote them, she wrote it curved at the top. They weren't straight and pointed. So I'm an extremely literal person. I'm very, very, very black and white, and I have always seen things one way or the other. That I've learned that you have to be that way because if you give people an inch, they take a mile. And unfortunately, I mean, I wish, of course, we know that a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So I'm hoping that you guys listen to this and you realize you don't want to be that person that you give people a little bit and give them an inch, they take a mile, and they walk all over you. For example, I used to give people a 2 week notice before I let them go. I do not do that anymore. I gave a gal one time a 6 month notice. I said, I just need you to, I need you to find another job. And I was trying to be nice. And she stole from me. She stole $6,000 over the course of 6 months. And so another thing that I do when I let people go is I never explain why I let them go. I just say, and you guys, that is so mean. Okay. Do it yourself and find out. You are opening yourself up for an argument. Go ahead and argue with him. We're going to let you go because, you haven't been showing up for work lately. Your work has been sloppy. You haven't been participating. We can't have you doing this anymore. My daughter was in the hospital. I had to put a dog down. They're going to argue, 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 argue. So I've learned all this crap from trial and error. And the bottom line is you are it. And if you, at one point when I was doing $1 million a month in revenue, we don't do that anymore because I kind of automated my company. We do about a half of that now, and I don't work very much anymore. I'd rather do it the way I'm doing it now, have everything on automated and I don't work, than having the stress I had at $1 million a month in revenue. So I chose this. I chose to take it all down a notch. But I had 60 employees. Let me tell you, that'll eat your lunch quick. That is very, very, very difficult. And you learn that you are you are it. The buck stops with you as the owner and the entrepreneur of your company. I don't know how big your company is, guys. Everybody's got a wide range who's watching right now. You might just be you and your mom, but it might be you and 11 other people. We don't know. But the buck stops with you. And when crap comes back around to you and you are having to pay for other stuff that because you didn't say no and you're having to pay and you were wishy-washy and crap, it gets real quick. And I only make the mistake one time. I'm one of those people that I make it once, I never repeat that mistake again. That's it. And so I learned really early on to say no to crap. Stop saying yes to stuff that doesn't serve you. I get it. Russell asked you to speak at his event. Oh, that's great. But it's the wrong crowd. You know what? My friend Marley Jackson and we just had this conversation the other day. For Marley's birthday, I treated her to a trip to Dallas for a girly thing we did. And so it was really fun. We were on the plane together and we were talking. Marley spoke at all this event on the East Coast. And she said, she goes, it was like this big audience, 300 people, but it was the wrong audience for the wrong product. They received it wrong. It was a big, giant waste of our time. So those of you guys who keep thinking, well, but I'm speaking, if you're servicing, if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. You've got to niche down, which comes to your first question. How did you niche down? I just realized that the riches and the niches, and I realized that out of 350 million Americans in this country, with 88% of them being fat and sick, there's plenty of fat people for me to help. Okay. There's plenty of business for Code Red. We're going to be fine. We're going to help people take their life back. I don't need to say yes to doing this. And now it confuses the crap out of people. Stick with what you're good at. And that's where entrepreneurs get hung up. They don't stay consistent with what they're doing because they might see a slowdown. Listen, 9 years of doing Code Red exactly like this with this exact model. Don't you think I've seen slowdowns in my day? Yes. Did I have to dip into my savings account to pay salaries? Yes. But we have the staying power when all of you might have given up, when all of you might have thrown in the towel, when all of you might have gone back to school to be a dental hygienist instead of sticking with selling Mary Kay or sticking with what your online Bible courses, your fitness business. You didn't stick with it when the going got tough. You didn't stick with it. You were like, well, let me kind of try this over here. Let me kind of try this over here. I stuck with it when the going got tough and I didn't waver. And that's why it has paid off in spades for me. That's why I have stayed in the saturated industry of weight loss when others have gone down. That's why I have bought up other people's companies and was like, well, yeah, shots didn't work, did they, Karen? You're back to me. Let me tell you, everybody comes back to Code Red eventually. If you stick with it long enough and you don't give up, don't slow down. And most people do. They give up and they want to spread out. And they want to try different things. I've got a buddy that does this all the time. He's so talented, but he's just scroll. Don't do it. Stick with the thing that you're good at and just dig in deep to it and it will pay off.
If you want to save time on watching all the episodes, but still get all the gold nuggets that we find from interviewing these 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs, then you can get all of that inside of the 2 Comma Club newsletter. Just go to 2ccnewsletter.com and subscribe.